Nice. In Sync.
You said that, and literally the only song I can think of is Backstreet's Back, alright.
Yeah.
And that's literally the wrong group.
What song does In Sync do?
No, that's still the same song.
Who does
is
that?
Bye Bye Bye, is that, okay, that's In Sync. Yep. It's
Yeah.
Gonna Be Me is also In Sync.
Okay.
So it's Tearing Up My Heart. Tearing up my heart when I'm with you. But when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel this way. With or without you. Wow. I can't believe I remember all those lyrics.
That was beautiful, Braylee.
I don't know if they're right, but they felt right in my heart.
That's all that matters, really, in music. Welcome back, everybody listening and from any part of the world.
Our global audience that we definitely have.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. But we're here to celebrate Christmas, baby.
It's true. Mark it, everyone. March 21st, when we recorded this, we were celebrating Christmas. Crap.
Mm-hmm.
This was supposed to, we were supposed to record this at Christmas time, weren't we?
Yeah. We
Oh,
were.
man.
Either that or, what was the other one we were going to do?
The Muppet movie.
Muppet, yep.
Which we'll definitely do that for this next Christmas.
That's good.
We can
I love
record
that.
that. Honestly, we can record that next month and just bank it for Christmas time. That way we don't miss it this time.
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys, it's almost 2026. I'm so excited.
Okay. Small off-topic thing real fast because
Okay.
it's me. Have you heard of the Till Death Do Us Blart podcast? Did I tell you about this?
I don't think so.
Have you heard of the McElroy brothers? My brother, and me, that podcast? Bim Bam?
No.
Okay. It's three brothers. They do a podcast together. They're also podcasts. They each also then have their own individual podcasts that they do and stuff. It's a whole thing. But anyway, my brother, and me is their big one. They started doing a podcast with the three of them and two of their comedian friends, I believe, from New Zealand, called Till Death Do Us Blart. And they watch Paul Blart 2, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, every year.
Okay.
And record it. I record an episode, a podcast about it, and release it on Thanksgiving Day. And they have been doing this since 2014.
Wow.
And it is an infinite podcast. They will do it until they die. And then they all have somebody who they have named as their successor who will have to take over their spot should they die to continue watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 every year. Except for there was one year where they had one of their friends choose one of them, and one of them watched Here Comes the Boom, and the other four watched Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and they tried to figure out who it was that hadn't actually watched Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 that year.
Wait, so they just upload once a year, or?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Literally, they upload that once a year. I mean, they all have other podcasts and stuff that they work on.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, I just listened to 10 episodes straight of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 review.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And it is so funny and unhinged. You will have to listen to it. It's a great time. And now I'm really looking forward to Thanksgiving this year for when the 2025 episode drops.
I'm sure they'll discover some hidden themes in Paul Blart.
Episode 1, they were already talking about hidden themes, and they're like, guys, we did it. We killed it. There's nothing else to do for the rest of forever.
We dissected it as much as we can.
It's really funny because they all come on, and they're always like, one of them is always like, all right, guys, how was this year's watch? And every once in a while, one of them's like, It just really sucked. I really hated it this year. You need to watch. You need to listen to it. It is so
I
funny.
bet. Okay.
Jalen has listened to it as well. And then what we could do is a meta podcast. We can all listen to the Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 episode and then make an episode about it every year.
Okay. That would
anyway.
go crazy.
Yes, it is March. We wanted to do this at Christmas time, and then we were all sick at Christmas time. And then...
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think we've recorded since then because I have a baby now.
You have a baby.
She is... How many? Almost a month old. On the 24th, it'll be a month. So...
Yeah.
It's
That's crazy.
I birthed the whole baby since we last recorded.
Can she walk yet?
No, she's a little behind, but she'll catch up. I'm not worried about it.
Loser.
That's your birthday twin you're talking about, Jace.
She's already shaming me.
It's true. She was born on Jace's birthday. They
Yep.
are birthday twins. So,
It's beautiful.
no excuse to ever forget it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good that I don't have to remember a new one.
She was a chunky girl. 8 pounds, 12 ounces.
That is chunky, isn't it?
Average baby at birth. Average weight of a newborn in the U.S. is around 7.7 pounds, 6 ounces. She was trying her best to live up to her birthday twin, but she fell short. Thank goodness.
I was like 11 pounds.
You were 11 pounds, 5 ounces.
It's pretty good.
Mom's like, all of my babies were so cute because I gave birth to 3-month-olds. I was like, that is the truth. I don't even know that my kid's 11 pounds right now. She's definitely not. She's 1,000% not 11 pounds right now.
Yeah. That's crazy. We should have done a baby-themed episode, Braylee.
Should have. We still can.
Mm-hmm.
We get to
Like
we get to release these
Daddy
whenever we want.
Daycare or something.
Oh my gosh.
Or the Boss Baby.
Hudson would have been thrilled if we did Boss Baby.
Alec Baldwin baby scares me.
To the task at hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Jace, what did we watch?
We watched Red One
We did.
of 2024. Right?
It was 2024. Came out.
Already old.
What were your thoughts?
Did you know Caleb considers 2007 movie old? That's crazy.
He considers a movie from 2007 old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 18 years old.
Yeah.
It's almost 20.
In human years, that's young.
I mean, that's true, but in movie years, that was a while ago. I mean, that's a movie that came out when you were 1. No. How old are you?
I feel like movies have a longer lifespan. Well, they definitely have a longer lifespan than people.
Yes. Most definitely.
If preserved, they have an infinite lifespan.
Yeah, but you wouldn't call it a new release either, even though it's definitely, like, younger than a lot of other movies.
Yeah. But when someone says, like, this is an old movie, I'm thinking 60s back.
So you're thinking Dad and up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably also because I watch a lot of movies, old and young.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I consider... I don't know. Because if you asked me to talk about old movies, I definitely wouldn't, like... I wouldn't say Cars or Finding Nemo. Or even, like, Toy Story. I'd say Dial M for Murder. And things like that. So... The Thing.
Thing is 80s. It's not that
Thing
old.
is 80s. I would call it old still, but...
Yeah. It's getting older every day,
I know.
as we all are.
Jalen sent me a meme it wasn't really a meme. It was an email from a student to a professor that somebody posted, and the student was like, "Hey, I was just wondering if there was a cutoff on like the time that we can use our like the time period our resources can be from, because I found this great article from 1994 and I was wondering if I could use it." And the professor is like, "I have died inside."
Yeah, I thought they were gonna say like 1920.
To be fair, in Caleb's defense, I mean 2007, those children are turning 18 this year. They're like full-fledged adults legally this year.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. How do we have full-grown adults that are born after 1999? Jace, how did we get here?
I don't know. I'm
Like
one of those kids.
I know. Caleb's turning 25 this year. Caleb's one of those kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Soraya is one of those kids. She is older than a 2007 movie.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, anything created or born after me cannot be old.
Fair enough.
And it will never be old. No matter how old I get.
It's so weird. Like, my whole child was born in the year 2025. Like, there are just people out here being born in 2025. What the heck?
That is crazy. Why are they doing that?
I don't know, man.
What's up with that?
Get back in there. It's not worth it.
Yep. Okay. Well, back at the task at hand, we watched Red 1. We'll talk about that later. Let's get to Unruly segment, Braylee. This is the part where we talk about a crazy hypothetical, usually. Braylee, would
What,
you
Jace?
would you want to be a superhero?
That's it? There's no or?
There's more, but
Okay.
just
I
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable answering the question without the rest of the context.
no, just would you like to be a superhero, or just like have superpowers? More like,
Yes.
okay, what superhero would you be? But you also have to deal with their rogues gallery.
So, like, I get to choose to be a specific superhero, but I have to deal with all their enemies and stuff? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But like you get their powers, but
I get their powers, but
you're
I
still
have to deal with their...
their baggage.
I don't know. That's a great question.
I got a big brain one.
You got a big brain one?
Yeah,
Tell me.
I'd be word girl from the PBS
That's so good.
original.
That's such a deep cut, Jace.
It is. Because I think she gets her powers from like spelling or something, but she has like super man powers, and all her villains are pretty chill, honestly.
Dr. Two Brains? Is that one of them?
Yeah, Doctor
the one
Two
with the-
Brains. Yeah, he has a rat brain and a human brain.
Yep. Is it a rat or is it a mouse? Because isn't he all about cheese?
Yeah,
I think it's a mouse brain.
do rats not like cheese?
Not canonically the way that mice do. Rats probably
Okay.
like cheese in real life as much as mice do, but like canonically, when you think little rodent that loves cheese, I
So,
immediately think
Scampering Mouse.
mouse.
Yep.
Great, now I'm Googling Dr. Two Brains.
And she also has like a villain that's just like he's just a butcher, which is the easiest guy to beat in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any other villain, so
Wasn't there an old granny that knits?
yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have something in my memory of that.
There's Chuck the evil sandwich making guy.
Oh, yeah, he makes like robots, right?
I don't know. Based off of his name, I would say he makes sandwiches, but that doesn't sound.
There's one that makes, yeah, Chuck also creates robots, I remember. No, it's the nerd. It's the little nerd that makes robots.
Yeah. And then there's Mr. Big.
Toby
There's
McAllister.
Lady Redundant Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my computer is being so slow. I just need to know. Okay, mostly human with some mouse DNA traits. That is Dr. Two Brain, so it sounds like it is a mouse. All right, that's a good one, Jace. I like it.
Yeah, I think I could beat Two Brains non-powered, so
yeah,
I think I'm good.
I feel like you could beat all of them non-powered.
Yeah.
But I swear there was like a granny that knits.
Yeah, Granny May.
Yeah? Did you find her?
Oh, wait. She's not a villain. Oh, wait,
no?
Is she? Yeah, she is a villain.
That's what I thought.
She's the alias Granny May. When committing crime, she poses as a sweet, hard-of-hearing elderly woman, but really is a master thief.
Everyone but Word Girl is usually fooled by this charade.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it here. Okay, cool. I don't know that I can beat this one. This is a good one.
Yeah, you can't.
Who else can I deep cut?
Even if you're like Spider-Man, which is usually like a pretty kid-friendly superhero, like Green Goblin still wants to kill you.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking like Tony Stark, just because it'd be nice to have all that money and that brain, that big brain. I know like none of his like powers are really powers, but like I think I prefer that. It's not nearly as cool as Word Girl, but it is what it is.
Any superhero that you get to fly would be pretty cool. The Crap Brothers are arguably superheroes.
I love the Crap Brothers. Depends if you want to go, like, the Cyber Chase kids, kind of superheroes. They save cyberspace all the time.
That's true.
Hacker is kind of a dweeb, too, so I'd be fine with having him as an arch nemesis.
Yeah.
Dweeb.
Yeah, I could beat him. Also, like, if you chose those kids, they're not really special. They just have, like, basic understanding of mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
And I have that. I passed geometry.
Yeah. They just got sucked into cyberspace every once in a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the ending in that show?
Like the way it ended completely?
Yeah, I don't think there was like an actual ending. It just kind of got cut off like most shows do. But I think it ended kind of sad. Where like Motherboard was like poisoned.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what to do about it. And it just kind of ended.
They also, it was so crazy that Gilbert Gottfried and Christopher Lloyd were in that, like, long term.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
It is weird. How were they in that?
Like, how were they affording them?
Yeah.
For real. In Cyber Chase series finale, the Cyber Squad, led by Motherboard, ultimately defeat Hacker, who has been attempting to destroy cyberspace, and the Motherboard and cyberspace is saved.
Oh, does have a happy ending.
I don't know. I think she was, like, glitching for a good part of it, but then they were able to save her. Like, your 7-year-old self thought she was gonna die. It ran for 15 seasons.
Yeah, it was long.
Alright, fam, this is now a Cyber Chase fan podcast. Where can I watch this?
I just watched this Reddit post, and it's like, how come there's never been an ending? There's like a bazillion seasons, and they never get a step closer to the ending. And the comments just like, Gilbert Gottfried's gotta eat.
Yeah, PBS Kids Cyber Chase is still airing on PBS Kids. The animated series has been running since 2002, with the 15 seasons, and the 15th season premiered in April of 2024. A 16th season is also planned.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna make an ending.
So in 2010, after the 8th season, Cyber Chase went on hiatus, but it returned in 2013. And then for the 9th season, followed by a 10th season in 2015. So it seems like a couple of years have been in between stuff. I was like, there's no way it's been running since 2002 and it's only on its 15th season if it's been running the whole time. I'm not great at math, but that doesn't add up. Okay, well, we are 31 minutes into our recording and we still haven't talked about Red One.
Kind of turned into like, which PBS kids show would you want to live in?
I do love Digit.
Yeah, Digit's awesome.
I don't know if I could watch right now if Gilbert Gottfried's not voicing Digit anymore.
Yeah. Do they just have like a guy that sounds like Godfrey, you think? Or they just...
Probably. Lots of people do Godfrey impressions, so I'm sure that they got someone real good.
What did you think of Red One?
It is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Not like the best movie, but it was a fun time. And I had a good time watching it.
Good.
How about you?
This movie is not good. Unsurprisingly, if I had watched it with anybody but my fam, if I had watched it alone, I would be way more angry about it. I think.
Who did you watch it with?
I watched it with Soraya, Dad, and Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, the Christmas gang.
All right, that's what I figured.
Minus you guys. But yeah, there's only like one part that I find really enjoyable, like surprisingly enjoyable. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
What part?
The Krampenschlap part.
I freaking knew it.
Whatever its part.
I knew that was gonna be your answer. The Krampenschlap.
Yeah.
Where they're just smacking the crap out of each other.
Yeah. It was like it breathed new life into this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this movie prior to that was just like a patient dying on the bed, and it was being resuscitated in that moment. And then it goes back to dying after that part.
Come up with a different analogy. That was terrible.
It introduces the character Krampus,
mm-hmm.
which he looks cool. I like his costume. I like that he's not a CG monster, thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely used a lot of CGI in this, but I feel like a lot of it was more practical effects than is being used in the industry a lot right now.
Yeah. Krampus's like castle area was actually like kind of cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And all his goons were cool, and he was cool.
Do you think that a lot of movies do CGI just because it is like the thing they can do? Is it cheaper too than like?
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of times it's not even like replacing actors; they're just replacing like the costuming and stuff. But like, I don't know. I wonder what the cost benefit analysis really is on that too. Like, I know you have to pay a costumer and you have to pay for all of the materials and stuff to make those costumes, but also at the end of it, you're still paying some dude to sit there, or some lady to sit there and do CGI stuff.
Yeah. It also just affords, more flexibility in the filmmaking process.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of times they do some of the CGI stuff that, like, doesn't need to be CGI'd. Like a lot of costume and stuff. But, like, it could be done with practical effects. Or it could just put them in a costume that looks like that. Like, why are you CGIing this when you don't have to?
Yeah, especially with, like, locations. Like, a lot of big budget movies, they're just, like, big blue screen sets now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, like, actually going into a forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV shows are the worst about that, which I understand, though, from like a budget standpoint. TV shows are not making as much money as movies are.
Yeah.
I was actually watching White Collar. I've rewatched White Collar, and there's at one point where like the main guy and one of the main guys and his wife are having a like coffee together or something, and it was so funny. I was like, this is so fake. Like, you're literally just sitting at a table and it's just like, you might as well just like hung a poster board of a coffee shop behind you. This sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, you're filming in LA and you couldn't have run to like a coffee shop and just shot the scene real fast. I think you could have. Yeah. No, Red One was everything I expected it to be. It was ridiculous. I'm still in love with J.K. Simmons. He can do no wrong. Everyone else was kind of annoying, but it was still fun. And Chris Evans plays a deadbeat dad. And that was fine. It was fine.
Chris Evans. I think why I like the Cramp and Schlop part is that, like, it's like one of the only parts where The Rock is actually vulnerable. Like, like he gets the crap beaten out of him for 1 second. And that's actually cool.
You just liked watching that part.
Yeah.
You just like watching The Rock get the crap beat out of him.
Yeah. But it's like the only part where, like, I feel like what's his face, Chris Evans and The Rock actually have some like synergy because they actually like help each other get out of that situation.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's missing from the latter part of the movie, which you think the synergy would carry over.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, this is the part where they're working together.
Right.
Where they're putting aside their differences, or they realize that they aren't so different. But
it's always interesting because you wonder, because I'm a musical kid, so I'm always like, the way musical runs, you run it straight through. Obviously, it's also a live thing. I always just assumed that they just ran movies that way too for a really long time. I didn't realize that, like, you're shooting the end of the movie at the beginning and you're shooting the beginning of the movie at the end sometimes, like those types of things.
Yeah.
I never really realized that it was that way. And I feel like that would be so hard as an actor to, like, do that. Because yeah, cool, they, like, got their synergy.
You're different
and
at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they got their stuff together. But, like, if they shot that at the very end of filming, it was probably playing on some actual chemistry that, like, The Rock and Chris Evans built as they were, like, doing all their stuff, and then we get back to the end of the movie was filmed first, where they just didn't have that, like, groove going on.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's interesting. I mean, I don't know that was the reason, but
I'm pretty sure it was not.
I don't think it was either. I'm just saying, in some movies, I have seen that a little bit where you're watching and you're like, why was that part like so much better than all the other parts? I'm like, oh, I bet they filmed that was like when they really were getting in the groove.
Yeah, it really is interesting, and like it's props to actors because like they like, obviously in movies characters usually change, and they have to act that change and in non-chronological order and everything. And yeah, it's impressive what they do.
Yeah, sometimes it's... I think that actors and people in the arts and stuff are, like, I think they're super talented and everything. Do I think that they should all be making as much money as they are while we... it is kind of ridiculous the amount of money that they make sometimes, but also then I go and watch their Red One, so...
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least they're, working for their wages.
True.
They don't passively get wages from other people.
That is true. That is true. And some of them work real hard and do their own stunts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why Tom Cruise is the GOAT.
The GOAT, baby.
But yeah.
A lot of big names in this one too, akin to Gilbert Gottfried and Christopher Lloyd being in Cyber Chase. What do I think of what?
not as groundbreaking names, but
Not
pretty
as
good. What do you think of like the North Pole like aesthetic, like the modern like tech bro, like yeah,
Yeah, I knew it was fine. It was
government
what I
agency
expected.
aesthetic.
Yeah. It was what I expected from the trailers. Like, I mean, they obviously were trying to make Kris Kringle into this, like, basically super agent type thing.
Yeah,
And they have this whole agency set up and everything to protect them and all. So it's exactly what I expected. I think it was kind of, I don't know. I feel like you can lean into the older aesthetic for North Pole, though, because, like, that's just kind of one of those things where you can stay a little more antiquated, and people like that, but making it techie was definitely unsurprising. Definitely expected.
yeah, yeah.
What
I
about you?
thought it was gonna be like The Rock. He's become jaded towards like the Christmas business and everything.
Mhm.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, like it's grown too big, like it's grown too clinical and everything, and that at the end of the movie it's gonna be like we gotta get like back to basics, like it's about like making toys for kids and being cheery and everything. It's not about running a business. What does change The Rock in this movie? What makes him reinvigorated to do Christmas more?
That people actually are good?
Yeah.
mark?
I guess it's because like Chris Evans, like he sees the
He
goodness
changes. Yeah.
in him. Yeah, he sees him actually be not the worst dad.
Still not a good one, friends. Don't worry.
No, definitely not. Also, like just like the Christmas whimsy, just ain't there.
No.
Like when they're talking to Chris Evans for the first time, they're like, "You better give us information, or we're gonna do something to you." And I'm like, "Oh, they're gonna like get the elves out and like tickle him or something, or like that." But no, they just torture him. And
Let's bring a huge polar bear out.
yeah, they just bring a
Threaten to
polar
kill
bear
him.
out. Yeah, and squeeze him. I was like,
I was
"What
fine
is-"
with that. I did like the polar bear. I thought he was cool.
Uh,
But I agree. Like, the Christmas whimsy was not there. Like, they tried to
No.
make it with Kris Kringle and being like, he's gonna eat 500,000 cookies tonight. And it's like, yep. That's it. That's the end of that joke. That's as far as it
Yeah.
goes. Like, no one cares. Or, like, the part where Mrs. Kringle is like, I'm gonna make Snickerdoodles his favorite. And that's how he knows that she's the shapeshifter. Because he's like... Because then The Rock is like, Nick doesn't like Snickerdoodles. And I was like, that wasn't as funny or lighthearted as you thought it was.
They should have made it like chocolate chip. Like, he's sick of those.
Oh, macarons, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was macarons.
She's gonna make macarons.
Are macaroons even a cookie though? Aren't they
I
kind
wouldn't
of their
have
own thing?
qualified them as a cookie, but
They're kind of cookie adjacent, I guess.
macarons, especially coconut macarons, are a type of cookie.
I don't trust this article from Big Cookie.
A sandwich cookie. Which I guess if you think about it, I mean, are Oreos a cookie? Yes. Macarons versus macaroons? What?
Can we not go down this route,
Yeah,
Braylee?
we don't have time for another tangent. We've been recording for 48 minutes, and probably 12 of those
Yeah.
minutes are actually talking about Red One.
What'd you think of the villain? Garingula, or whatever her name is. The
She
witch.
was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel anything for her. I feel like they didn't,
Yeah. She's pretty boring.
zhuzh up her backstory enough.
She wants to kill everyone that does wrong.
It doesn't
Even
make...
if they're just like kids that lie, or like
Yeah.
kids that steal a Snickers or something.
It, like, doesn't make any sense to me. Those types of villains, honestly. I just want to punish everyone who's even a little bit bad. It's like, you're super bad. Aren't you supposed to be, like, on the side of people doing bad? Like, don't you want everyone to be bad because you're also bad? It doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
me when they're like, no, I want to punish all the bad people. It's like, well, you're bad. You suck. Like, what?
Imprisoning people is not a bad thing to do, actually. That's a good thing to do if they're bad.
If they're bad.
Yeah.
Right. And
If
why
they're
do you
bad
care
by
if
the,
they,
by the
like...
loosest terms.
Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, those types of villains have never made sense to me. Obviously, they're still the bad person because, they want to
They don't
punish
have
people
a-
for not being perfect.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing. You have to
They're
let people make
hypocritical.
mistakes and everything. You're being hypocritical and everything. But it's still just like, I don't know. Do they think they're the good guy then? Because I can get behind that more when that person is kind of acting like I am the good guy in this situation. But she's like fully aware that she's the bad dude.
That is true. She
She's
acts
like,
very
I'm
sinister.
the bad guy, but I'm going to punish all the other bad guys. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That means you need to think that you're the good guy then.
Yeah. It's kind of like Thanos. Like, even though he is a bad guy, like, he obviously 100% thinks that he's a good guy.
Yeah. Which, like,
That he's
is
doing the
infuriating
best
because
for
obviously
everybody.
he's not. Yeah. But it makes more sense to me why he's doing the things that he does because he thinks he's the good guy and he thinks he's doing the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Thanos was
But
just
this-
like, I'm a bad dude, it's like, yes.
And I want to punish
And
all
I
the
just
bad,
want to kill
bad
everyone.
guys.
It's like, yeah, you're just a bad guy then. And he's like, yeah, it's true. Like, what the heck is happening? And also, I was so confused for such a long time with all of the full-grown men calling her mom. I was like, what is happening?
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I guess they technically are her children. This is weird. Yeah, and then finding out that Chris Kringle is, like, not human. I almost called him an alien, but I don't think he's really an alien either.
Is he not? What is he?
He's just like a mythical creature as well.
Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, because he's real old. And he eats 500,000 cookies every Christmas.
Yep. And he's still fit.
It was kind of fun, though, to see it a little high-tech, just from the sense of, like, shrinking and being able to, like, get into places because of that, and then, like, getting big again, and, like, that whole scene at the very end where they are delivering the, all of the presents and stuff, I was like, this is kind of fun.
The Grinch movie did it better.
No.
Yeah, do you remember that the new Grinch movie? You remember that part where he steals all the presents and everything?
Not really.
Wow.
The Benedict Cumberbatch one?
Mm-hmm.
No, not really.
I don't like that movie, but I really like that scene.
Two Christmas movies that you don't really like, but you like one scene from. Red One.
Yeah, yeah.
The Grinch Stole Christmas Benedict Cumberbatch version.
That's so true. That's so true.
No, this was one of those movies where if you're just looking for something kind of fun to pass the time, you can watch this and you won't be disappointed at the end. You'll probably watch it and you'll be like, man, that was fine. Like, it didn't take any brain power. I didn't have to think too hard about the themes.
Yeah.
It's... J.K. Simmons is looking great. Like, just that will be like your takeaway at the end of the movie. But if you wanted to, I don't know, if you had any expectations, you are going to be let down.
Yeah.
Were you
I don't know why
like,
you would have expectations.
were you okay with watching it since you watched it with Mom and Dad and Soraya, like, because you guys were goofing the whole time, and so it was fun for that reason?
Yeah. If I watched it by myself, I definitely would have had a way worse time.
Mm-hmm. Ty and I watched it together. I think I actually had to watch the last, 40 minutes by myself, though, because we hadn't quite finished it, and then we were going to record, and I was like, I gotta finish the movie!
And it was even better without him.
No.
Oh.
I was bored.
No. Yeah, the final battle ain't super great. I don't remember it too much.
I don't remember it too much either. It's been a while since I've watched it. And obviously it wasn't that memorable if I can't remember it right now.
The bad guy turns into a big monster.
Oh, that's right. And she's on the Golden Gate Bridge or some crap. No, they're on
No, they're in the North
the
Pole.
Magic Bridge.
It's
And all
the
those, yeah, the runway or
the
whatever.
runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those reindeer are huge,
Yeah, they're giant.
which makes sense.
It really does surprise me that Krampus is an actual costume when everything else is pretty CG.
Mm-hmm.
The deers are CG. The monster at the end is CG.
Yeah. Those are ones that, like,
Yeah.
had to be CG, though.
The deer didn't have to be.
Well, they don't have deer that big.
You could play, perspective tricks,
Yeah. I
The
think people
the
are really
actors
trying
the
to lean
actors
away
in Lord of the
from-
Rings weren't that tiny.
Yeah. I think people are really trying to lean away, though, from using real animals in these types of things because they don't get treated the best a lot of times.
Also, I watched a video on dog acting. And the
Tell me more.
okay.
Are you going to get into it?
And the dog in the thing is a wolf dog.
Mhm.
That's why it's so, doesn't bark.
Oh, it doesn't bark. And,
So
like,
chill.
the actual other dogs that they had, though, were a little freaked out by it because it was a wolf dog. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like, some of
you
the
told
other
me that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dog acting is impressive.
Dog acting is super impressive.
And usually they have like 15 dogs that play one dog because, the
Dogs.
not to overexert them.
Yeah.
And also because, like, one dog might, be better for, like, an excited scene or just, like, a chill scene or, whatever.
Fifi over here is better for tail wagging.
Yeah.
But Fido is real good for jumping in the lake.
Uh-huh.
No, 1,000%. Completely understand, yeah. No, I'm trying to remember, because was it Frasier? That dog?
Yeah.
Eddie is played by, like, 4 or 5 little terriers.
And they all look the same.
Yeah, I feel like that's the hardest part.
Is that dog still alive in the
Absolutely.
in
in the
new
reboot?
Frasier show?
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a Jalen question. She's watched that.
Yeah, she talked my ear off about that show.
About how terrible it is.
Yeah. I don't doubt it. Any other comments or concerns about this movie, Braylee?
Not really. I mean, not gonna lie, I was low-key a little disappointed. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more fun than it was. Like, I was really excited for it to come out because I was like, this is gonna be a horrible movie, but, like, a good, fun movie. And it wasn't. Like, I was expecting more, like, Jumanji levels. You know? Jumanji's not, like, a critically
Yeah.
acclaimable movie. But it's fun. It's fun to watch.
I think the difference being Jumanji has jokes that are funny.
Yeah, they just, like, I feel like they could have gone a little harder on writing better jokes that would have hit better and been funnier.
Yeah.
They tried to
can't
make it
think of-
kind of like a buddy comedy type thing, and it just fell flat.
Yeah.
Except for J.K. Simmons, because he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah. This should be like a buddy cop adventure movie.
Yeah.
But it really isn't.
No, they should have leaned into it.
Because it just feels like, for most of the movie, it's just The Rock being super serious. And
Chris Evans
Chris
not.
Evans being like, "Whoa, what is that?
It's like,
A
listen,
what?
dude,
A
you
polar
only
bear?"
get to be, you only get to be surprised by like 3 things, and then you have to accept that you live in this world where mythical creatures are real, and get over it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. A real person would probably have a really hard time coping, but you're a movie character. You accept it pretty quickly.
We don't need that real life crap. That's why we watch movies, is to get away from the real life crap. So yeah, maybe that's my main complaint, is that like they didn't. I said all the great makings of being a good like buddy cop movie, and they just didn't lean into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a ridiculous premise. Like, accept that and make it fun.
They should have kissed at the end.
Now he could have had 2 crappy dads. 3 Two
Yeah.
crappy dads.
Yeah. Kid divorced his. Uh, wait, I don't think they're still in a relationship. Him and the wife,
Oh no,
Chris Evans and
definitely
his
not.
wife.
Because she was with some other.
Yeah.
She was with another guy. I think she was married to
Oh
the
yeah.
other guy.
Yeah, they could have been two dads. I
They had so
definitely
much
would have thought it
potential.
was more funny.
It would have been so great.
Chris Evans, he should not do movies unless they're like Glass Onion.
Knives Out.
I can. Yeah, Knives Out. That's what I meant. What's a movie that he's actually like good in besides Knives Out? He's decent in like the Avengers movies and stuff.
Like as Captain America and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else.
I don't know that I've really seen him in anything else other than. I know he's been in other stuff. I've just not really watched it.
He was in that Ghosted movie,
I didn't watch
which
that
is
one.
even worse than this movie
I didn't watch
because
that.
it has no good scenes.
I have meant to watch. There is one that he's in where he's like the guardian of some genius little girl, like his niece or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put that one on the list to see if he's any good in that.
Can Chris Evans act? I don't think he can act unless he is, being directed by a good director.
I mean, that's not.
That's not like uncommon.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, like a lot of actors, like they'll have movies where they're crap and then give really good performances sometimes.
Gifted. He is a single man. Okay, it's his daughter. Raising his child prodigy niece, Mary, is drawn into a custody battle with his mother.
He does play a decent Johnny Storm.
I was actually gonna say in Fantastic Four, but
Yeah. He's not bad. He's not bad there.
he's not bad. It's a pretty young one. It's also like, I don't know, this is kind of like a stereotypical one though, outside of Captain America, kind of like the arrogant hot guy,
Yeah.
But no.
The Gay Man. Did you watch that movie?
No.
The Gray Man?
Oh, the Gray Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a decent one. I liked that movie.
Yeah.
You did not?
It could have been better. It's better
Could
than
have been like
Red
30
One.
minutes shorter too.
Yeah.
Which Red One also could have been 30 minutes shorter. I feel like all movies now could be 30 minutes shorter.
I can't remember anything from that movie.
The Gray Man.
Yeah.
I
know
remember the
that-
fight scene during the fireworks. That's like what I
Oh,
remember.
yeah. That was kind of cool.
Was that Ana de Armas too? Ana de Armas, the girl, the lady in it. Is that who that was?
Oh.
She's the one from Knives Out. Yeah.
Oh. She's also in Ghosted.
Yes.
I guess they like to work together. She's a good actress too.
Mhm.
But I've seen her mostly in movies that aren't very good.
I really think the writing matters, and then obviously the directing, as we said earlier.
Scott Pilgrim. He's good in that.
He's in that?
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor. As long as he tries, I think he's well directed.
Yeah.
He can act. But I wouldn't blame anyone for not trying a Ghosted or Red One or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I give this one 2 candy canes out of 10.
Man, we need to come up with a better ranking system. That's something we're supposed to do, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just do out of the 10.
2 out of 10?
Yeah. 2 candy canes.
Yeah. I'm
2
probably like,
macaroons out of 10.
yeah, I'm probably like 3
3 what?
candy canes. It's Christmas after all.
Just copying me. Yeah. Yes. And I can't wait for January 1st. Right around the corner. What are your New Year's resolutions, Braylee?
Have a baby.
Have a baby. Okay, that's pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys. Go watch The Muppets Christmas Carol.
That's what we'll be covering next year for Christmas.
Next year, yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.